All right, we're back with more news. Got a good amount of stuff. It's mostly the showcases and Direct and stuff. But we'll go through those last. Xbox Showcase and Nintendo Direct. There are a few actual news stories to go through first. Let's see how fast we can get through it. Not that we're trying to go fast, but there is a World Cup game about to start in like 30 minutes. Let's start off with Ninja Theory canceling their next game. This is Chris Scullion, VGC. Ninja Theory's experimental horror game Project Mara has been canceled. Back in 2020, the Hellblade studio announced that Project Mara would be a real-world and grounded representation of mental terror, with the developer diary in 2021 confirming that the entire game would be set in a photorealistic apartment. Did they show something about this? They did. I do remember this. This was a long time ago. This is before news. Oh, that's very loud. Let me just mute this real fast. Cool. Well, it's been canceled. I think they're working on Senua, the new Senua game, I think. When asked about the third game's heavy focus on action and whether this was a callback to the studio's roots, they replied, I think about it slightly differently. It's not a combat action game. People shouldn't expect that this is like 2/3 combat. Really think about this as being fairly even split between combat, traversal, and puzzle solving. Promoting Senua, the third game, which we'll see in the showcase. Well, they needed more hands on that game, apparently. Okay, but next up, apparently Ubisoft is closing some studios. This is Andy Robinson, VGC. Ubisoft is closing multiple studios, resulting in up to 380 job losses. Christ. Ubisoft Barcelona will be restructured to focus solely on Rainbow Six projects. In addition, Ubisoft has internally announced organizational changes within its global publishing team, which will see role reductions across the company. So Ubisoft Barcelona, Ubisoft Belgrade contributed to Skull and Bones. Is Skull and Bones still going? Interesting. Closures and restructuring come as part of Ubisoft's global cost-saving plan, which has so far resulted in the cancellation of at least 6 games, the postponement of 7 others, and multiple studio closures, resulting in hundreds of job losses this year. Wow. That's wild. The chat, it's not the day by day. It's looking not great. It's looking not great. As you can tell, also by Grid Legends is shutting down. Chris Scullion, VGC. Grid Legends servers will shut down on PlayStation and Xbox later this year. Developed by Codemasters, Grid Legends was released in February 2022 and included story mode called Driven to Glory. Featured live action cutscenes. As spotted by delisted games, EA has updated its online servers shutdown page, which lists all the games that have had their servers turned off over the years. Newly updated list now has added Grid Legends, which will be turned off on September 11th. Never forget, according to EA. No further information has been added yet, but it's likely that this will mean online multiplayer will no longer be available, but single player content may be still accessible. Wow. The entry specifically refers to Grid Legends for Xbox One, XNS, PS4, and PS5. However, meaning not yet clear how the other versions of the game, such as Steam, will be affected. It doesn't say anything about job losses, but I would assume that's what happens when you shutter a game. I guess we can do the Xbox Showcase first, and then the Xbox company news after that. That's it for the side large news. Here's a couple small news things. Valor Mortis has been delayed. This is Matt Wales, Eurogamer. Nothing like too in-depth here. It was scheduled for, I think it was the same day as like Onimusha and something else. It was originally September 24th. They're saying they're trying to get away from GTA, but let me pull up my calendar. Actually, I have my calendar on my phone. Let me pull up my calendar. Yeah, Control and it was Control and Silent Hill. Same day as those games, plus the next game on the next day, the 25th, Onimusha was coming out. This is the Napoleon Souls-like game. There is a demo. That was another little update there. There is a demo that you can play now. I think it's been out, or this might be like a second version of the demo. But there's a demo that you could play. Some good things I'm hearing about it. I do want to try it out. It looks pretty cool. But this fall is packed. So like moving it didn't do that much because now October is even more packed than it was. Oof. Next up, we got some Switch 2 scalpers in Japan / hoarders. Chris calling VGC. Nintendo temporarily suspends sales of the multi-region Switch 2 in Japan after suspected hoarding. Unlike other regions, Japan has two different versions of the Switch 2 hardware, a Japanese domestic-only version and a multilingual version. The Japan-only version, which is by far the most widely available version and the only one available to purchase from general retailers, only has Japanese as the controls language setting. The only Nintendo accounts that can be linked to it are those within the country region setting to Japan. The multilingual version, meanwhile, works like Switch 2 consoles elsewhere in the world and lets players choose their language and region settings as normal. This version is more expensive, however, and can only be purchased directly from Nintendo on its online store. Following the recent price increase, the Japan-only version went up from $310 to $375, but the multilingual version stayed the same price. Interesting. But they've now temporarily suspended sales of the multilingual version because they believe some users are hoarding them to scalp them. The statement says, we temporarily suspended sales of Nintendo Switch 2 on the Nintendo Store after confirming several orders that appear to be hoarding. Oh, man. In order to deliver the product to more customers, we will now be selling it only to customers who meet the following conditions. What other conditions? Conditions are, their total Switch playtime was 50 hours or more by the end of May 31st. Chat, I think I might be right there just by playing Tears of the Kingdom. I think I might be close to 50. If they meet this condition, they will be able to buy only one multilingual console. This purchase limit includes any they may have already purchased. Boo, scalpers, boo, boo. That's gross. All right, let's go through the chat picks real fast because that was kind of it for like the smaller news. First up, we've got Steam discontinuing physical gift cards. This is Emma Singer, CBR. I gotta zoom in a little bit here. In the near future, Steam will be discontinuing all retail sales of physical gift cards, while digital gift cards will still be available directly through Steam. This shift reflects the ongoing and controversial continued move away from the gaming industry from physical media. That's so gross. That's so gross. Because, like, some people want to give someone a physical thing, especially like during the holidays. Here's this physical thing. That's cool. It's lame. I feel like it's not gonna. How much does it affect? Like, how much are they saving by not printing little things of cardboard, you know? I don't know. Next up, let's talk about the Destiny 2 player counts while it's on life support. Cade Onder, IGN. Destiny 2 hits highest player count in 2 years following final updates release. Shatters Marathon's all-time peak. Wow. Destiny fans have shown up in droves to send off the beloved sci-fi shooter, although Destiny 2 servers will remain active for the foreseeable future. The game won't be getting any new content going forward. We know this. 24-hour concurrent player count on Steam has peaked at 167,000. The highest Destiny 2 player count since the release of 2024's The Final Shape. Last paid expansion for the game, which peaked at 314,000. That's a lot. 314 is crazy. That's crazy. But hey, good for you. Good for you guys. Good for you Guardians out there. Play your game. Keep playing your game. Next up is the Helldivers movie Dead. If you didn't know, they were making a Helldivers movie. This is John Walker, Kotaku. Jason Momoa is no longer starring in the Helldivers movie, leaving the 2027 release without a lead. That's crazy. Their lead actor is gone. According to Deadline, Jason Momoa is no longer a part of Sony Pictures' movie based on the Helldivers franchise. The movie is due to release on November 10th, 2027. That's a little over a year from now. They must have started filming already, right? Revealed in February 2026 with him joining the PlayStation Productions project along Fast and Furious director Justin Lin. However, in the months since, nothing new about the film has been revealed. The plot remains entirely unknown beyond what we can assume from a movie based on a Starship Troopers-like satire of 22nd century warring factions, and no other actors have been publicly attached. That's actually true. There's been no info since. We got the announcement of the movie, and now basically that it's about to be dead. That's rough. All right, let's go through the Xbox showcase. We're not going to watch really any trailers because it's been a while. It's been almost a full week. Everyone's seen the trailers already, so let's just go over what's been announced. Jordan Miller, VGC. Everything announced. Gears of War E-Day. A really cool trailer. They're little. They show them really little without the armor, in jeans running around. This actually looks pretty sick. I'm not the biggest Gears fan in general. I played the first 3, maybe the first 2.5. But this is before the steroids and everything. It's a completely different art style. There's slightly more color, which is nice. But this game looks great, actually. Even the single player mode. But like I said, I'm not the biggest Gears fan, but this looks awesome. I'll probably will jump into this. And confirmed exclusive to Xbox. Even though there is allegedly a copy done for PlayStation, they came out and announced during the showcase that this is exclusive to Xbox. Fable got a super awesome fucking trailer. Very different vibe from the original trailer. You got Captain Carter here giving a monologue, and you're thinking in the beginning like, oh wow, that's a cool new heroic character because she's talking about all these heroic things, and then you find out later she's actually the bad guy, and then some sick fighting happens. This trailer, if you haven't seen this trailer specifically, it fucking rules. It's such an awesome trailer. Can't wait for this game to come out. New gameplay trailer for Halo Campaign Evolved. They showed a little bit more of the prequel missions. Little satirical, a little more silly, but the game looks great. The graphics look amazing. I'm trying to get that collector's edition, and the universe won't let me, which is awful. Resonance of Plague Tale, which is funny because you got to control resonance, and then like I think Final Fantasy Resonance or something like that also coming out. The previous Plague Tale games was like more of like a puzzle kind of just like stealth game, or this is like way more action. In this new one, way more violence, like actual fighting, which makes it good for me. Like, I wasn't interested in the Plague Tale before this. This looks fucking sick. So it'd looks like it's a fun time to play. Persona 4 remake finally announced. Revival. It's yellow. It's coming out. State of Decay 3. They showed some actual gameplay this time. Confirmed, no zombie deers. I wasn't a big fan of 2. I really liked 1. I liked 1 a lot. I was very excited for 2. But the mechanics in 2 were different. I feel like I've talked about this before, where like in 1, you have your map and you go and you clear out, and then like you can clear out areas, and those areas stay clear. So they're safe after you clear them out. So you could just work your way clearing the whole map. And the second one, they decided, hey, once you clear this area, eventually, after a little bit, the shit respawns there. Like the nests respawn or whatever. And I wasn't a fan of that. I didn't feel like I was accomplishing anything, so I'd never finished State of Decay 2. We'll see. They didn't show anything like that in this trailer. Hopefully it's back to like more State of Decay 1, at least for me. Sea of Thieves update. It's like fucking Forge mode or something like that. You can do custom stuff. Looked pretty cool. Metro 2039 looked sick. I've never played a Metro game. I have a couple of them. I've never played them. They've always looked good, but I've never played them. This one also looks good. Bad Magpie. I feel like a lot of people would like this game. You're just a little bird. It's kind of like Untitled Goose Game. You're just this little guy. He's walking around setting things on fire. This game actually looks pretty nice. He's picking up worms and shit. This looks like a pretty fun game, like honestly. Wolong 2 got announced. Not I feel like it's a very different vibe from the first one, but looks cool. A cult game. So for you Cult of the Lamb people, if you liked Cult of the Lamb but said, hey, what if this was just realistic kind of humans? This is your game, I guess. This game's fucking weird. The next Hellblade game was announced. Senua, that's it. The trailer looked very nice. It's very different from the other games trailers where they had some big cinematic production. This is more just like, hey, this is what the game is, which is they've always looked good, these games. Doom Eternal Revelations has been announced. An expansion. Big expansion. Maybe we'll finally finish these Doom games, because this looks cool, because you got your dual wielding, you got the spear that you throw. It is Dark Ages Revelations. I don't know why it says Eternal here. Crazy Taxi, they showed a trailer. It looks like the game. There's AI in it. Gross. The translucent green Xbox. Mouth watering. PP hard. Really want this. Probably going to be too expensive. Probably going to be sold out. But it'd be nice to have. Minecraft Dungeons 2. I played the first one. It was fun. It's just more of that. It's just more of that. More Minecraft Dungeons. Magicians the Devil's Steel. This was a really pleasant surprise. Really thought it was going to be something else, but you're literally just a magician and you do cool fighting. It's got like BioShock vibes, but it's just magic. It looks fucking sick. Like, the art style looks sick. I do want to play this. Another Valor Mortis trailer, and they had a release date. They moved it. We just talked about that. Elder Scrolls Online update. They're still making updates for that game. Flight Simulator gets like a terrain update for like national parks and stuff. Where Winds Meet. I don't remember anything about this. It's another one of these games. Not very excited about that. They announced the new Castlevania. Lady Belmont. I'm not sold on this art style entirely. I feel like it's too cartoony, but that's just me. Persona 6 announced. They just showed the green trailer, or the green logo. That's it. So maybe we'll see that in like 6 years. New Spyro game. People really excited about this. It's just a teaser. No gameplay or anything. Looks nice. Clockwork Revolution. They showed a new trailer with like a heist. They also announced the Xbox exclusive. Interesting decision. COD Modern Warfare 4 got another trailer / announcement for the DMZ, which is their extraction shooter mode. I've said earlier this week that it's like, it definitely does a good job of like, this is kind of like how an extraction shooter feels. Like just randomly getting popped out of nowhere. But like, this is just like Marathon. It's a game mode that's just not for everyone. But I'm sure Call of Duty people are going to try it for sure. People are going to play it because it's Call of Duty. And that's how they ended their showcase. Let's go through a couple of the Xbox follow-up stories here before we hit the Nintendo Direct. First up, they pulled up a video that had a PS5 logo in a Gears like announcement thing. This is Andy Robinson, VGC. Xbox pulls Gears video featuring a PS5 logo 24 hours after announcing it as an exclusive. So the next day after the showcase, they had a video up, and you can see on the right side, Xbox Series X and S, PC, Cloud, Steam, and PS5. That's so wild that they left it there. Xbox marketing boss Aaron Greenberg has denied the decision to make Gears Xbox exclusive, denies that the decision was made at the last minute. I can't confirm this is not true. We just limited the knowledge. Yeah, okay, sure. That's so obvious. That's really funny. That's just really funny. They're just tripping over themselves. Another update about Plague's Tale specifically. Chris Culling, VGC. They're talking about AI in their game. But what they're saying is we prefer not to use it at all. Let's go. Plague Tale developer says using Gen AI is a choice for smaller teams, not a necessity. I like this. This sounds great. In an interview with Eurogamer, producer Eric Court was asked about the use of generative AI in development and whether he believes the fact that developer Asobo is smaller than AAA studios. Around 70 staff are working on Resonance, meaning AI is a useful tool for bringing development up to a AAA level. And he responds, we don't use it. We don't want to. It's a choice. We think that our games are working with the fans and with the community and with the critics because they are original, because we have unique settings, unique characters, unique artistic direction. All this is pretty in danger because of AI as we see it. We just want to stay with how we make games and to keep this thing in mind when we are making games. Our creativity, our authenticity. That's what I'm talking about. We need more people like this. More people like this to say, fuck you. I really hope they don't end up having AI in the game. That would be so disappointing. But that's awesome. Couple more Xbox stories here. And your Robinson VGC. Xbox strategist says announced console exclusives are not a one-off. Because interestingly enough, the only two games that they announced were exclusive were Gears, which was planned to not be exclusive, and that Clockwork game, which is odd. Because you would think, hey, maybe your other big hitters of Xbox would be exclusive, just like Halo, or maybe even Fable. Fable still could be exclusive. I don't think we know yet. But I don't think they could have made Halo exclusive because they already announced a long time ago, like they said it, that Halo is going to come to PlayStation. So I think they already have contracts. But speaking at the Game Business Live event at Summer Game Fest, Xbox's CSO Matthew Ball said the announcement of Gears of War E-Day and Clockwork Revolution as console exclusives is the start of a program at Microsoft. So I can tell you how we're thinking about it. We have an internal framework and strategy that we are using to approach exclusives on and off the platform. We announced yesterday that there were 2 titles, one coming this year, one coming next year. Doing two titles was important. We could have announced Clockwork was going to be exclusive later at the end of the year. When we got closer to the 25th anniversary, we could have kicked off 2027 by talking about this as an exclusive. But it was important for us to include 2 titles so that people understood this is not a one-off. it was not commemorative. We were not saying it's our 25th anniversary. It's Gears 20th anniversary. We're returning to Xbox. Here's an exclusive. This is the start of a program. But like, just two? Players can expect a reliable pipeline that validates their historical investment in the Xbox platform, keeps them as an Xbox player going forward, and everyone in the industry understands that exclusives are important to the growth and branding of that platform. What? Continue to put us large live service games like Call of Duty onto other console platforms. We have a third bucket of titles, those titles that we have previously announced or previously committed with our partners, with players, with teams that we decided to maintain those commitments, referencing Fable, Halo, CE. That's right. Okay, so Fable is confirmed. That sucks. And it doesn't suck as in like these all should be exclusive. It's just like it sounds like they don't know what they're doing, you know? Some are going to be exclusive, some are not. Like Fable and Halo are big. Like these would be console pushers, like hardware pushers, Fable and Halo. More so, I would say, even than Gears, not gonna lie. Clockwork Revolution, I don't think is gonna sell consoles. I don't think any way that's selling a console. So this is very odd that, right now. They need to have a title coming out of nowhere that the vast majority of the public is gonna want to spend too much money for. All right, a couple more Xbox updates here. Xbox is exploring radically different business models to make its next console affordable. I don't think it's possible. Not gonna lie. Data centers, yeah, skyrocketing prices. Speaking during a Fortune Live event, Xbox boss Sharma called the component price surge a crisis for the games industry and suggested that Microsoft was exploring ways to reduce the price of its next-gen console, which in current conditions would surely cost far more than the Xbox Series X's $500 at launch. That sounds so cheap. Like when you saying that now that it was $500 sounds cheap, which is crazy because $500 is not cheap. She says, look, on hardware, we are in a crisis right now. The entire industry is. There's a shortage of memory and storage, and the costs are exponential. These are some crazy numbers here, chat. There are usually at this point in the generation about 50% of the cost, and we're seeing they're up 2 3/4, or basically 3 times. They're up 50% since they started. They're going to be up effectively 7.5 times their value. This is crazy. They said like from 2 years ago, stuff's going up 7 times the price. Pricing is a lever, of course. We must think about other options as well. We must think about other ways to think about the cost construction of the console. We must think about how we create different plans so more people can participate in the console. It's so funny because it's just the component price is a crisis for the gaming industry and suggests that Microsoft was exploring ways to reduce the price of its next gen console. Who do you guys think is one of the biggest players in the reason these prices are going so high? Who do you think is pushing very large data centers and AI assist programs commercially and non-commercially? I wonder if they can find out who is a big part of the reason here. They just have to look up. Oh, hi. Hey, Satya Nadella. Hello. This is crazy. It's literally them doing it to themselves and saying, oh shit, it's the state of the industry. Right. Okay. All right. Last of the Xbox updates. This is Andy Robinson, VGC. Xbox could be about to close one of its studios as part of cuts it's claimed. So they just announced layoffs and possible studio closures. On Wednesday, Xbox CEO Asha Sharma published a note sent to staff in which he shared realities that we need to navigate. Gross. Such as that its annual revenue has declined nearly $500 million in 5 years. Hardware costs are up 4 times since last year, and its studio system is overextended. The note to staff was sent in advance of planned significant losses across the Xbox business and a reduction to its marketing and other budgets. In a new report published by The Verge, it's claimed that those cuts could also see the closure of an unnamed Xbox studio. Sources suggest the cuts could even involve a studio closure or changes to the Xbox studio lineup. If the layoffs go ahead, it will mark the 4th consecutive year of cuts at Xbox, as it weathers a challenging games market that's also seen tens of thousands of job losses across the wider industry. Whoa. So no confirmation yet, but we're bracing for it. We're bracing for a wave of awful coming to Xbox after like an arguably a really great showcase. Like that showcase earlier in the week ruled. It petered off at the end with the Call of Duty, but overall, it was a great showcase. And then this. Cool. Hey, cool. Good job, Xbox. All right, let's go through the Nintendo Direct. This will be the last. Well, we got a couple of Nintendo stories after that, but Nintendo Direct, Chris Scully, VGC, everything announced. What a weird. Well, let's go through the announcements and then we'll talk about why it was fucking weird. First, Rhythm Heaven Groove gameplay trailer. If you like rhythm games and little art things, little guys, this is the game for you. Do rhythm stuff. There's also multiplayer stuff, which I thought was pretty fun. The multiplayer stuff looked pretty cool. Look, windshield wipers. What? Listen for the timing. Onimusha Way, the Sword coming to Switch 2. That's cool. That Dragon's Dogma 2, Dark Horizon coming to Switch 2. Like, so they're showing off like basically what the Switch 2 can do, which is a lot like compared to the Switch 1 for sure. So it's like it's impressive that a lot of these games are coming to Switch 2. Stellar Blade, Orbitals. I don't know how many of you have seen Orbitals. Orbitals look sick. And watch a little bit of this. This art style looks awesome. Look at this. This looks so cool. I can't wait for this game to come out. I really want to play this. It's like 80s anime style. Look at this. And then it's kind of like Split Fiction. I like it. Guys, I like this. Rayman Legends Retold gets a new trailer. So they showed a little bit more of this, some more gameplay. Aesthetically, really nice. 60 FPS. Big Walk, I don't know why this is private. It's like so this is like play with your, it's just like friend slop, walking around with your friends doing stuff, hanging out. One Piece Grand Gourmet. So if you like pixel cooking sims and like One Piece, this is your game right here. Pocopia Underwater update. This is cool. I didn't realize, I've never played Pocopia. I didn't realize like you couldn't go underwater, or I didn't realize there were no water Pokemon, I guess. But now you go underwater. This is actually a pretty, like, objectively, a really smart, good update, free software update in August. I like that. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. A new Fire Emblem game. People super hyped about this. Release date, September 17th. Ninjala 2. This looked like something. Not my thing. They announced a challenge thing for the Donkey Kong games on the Switch. And it's coming in, it's temporary, it's in waves, and DK64 is not included. It is not included. So the first wave starts now until September 1st. A lot of people already completed. They said it's super easy. Donkey Kong Bonanza, paid DLC and limited time Mario, like, reskin update. Nice. I kind of, like, this game looks really good. Jujutsu Kaisen Rumble, Lords of the Fallen 2 coming to Switch 2. Lies of P Complete Edition. Again, another game that's like, wow, this is going on the Switch 2. Cool. I gotta finish this game. Devil May Cry 5. Devil Hunter Edition. Switch 2. I've never played a single Devil May Cry game. They look weird. But I mean, I like weird things. Muramasa Revenant Blades. I don't remember at all what this was. Yes, now I remember. Okay. Hey, if you're a huge JRPG fan, this was a really good showcase for you. Xenoblade Chronicles Trilogy. Switch 2, that's awesome. And a brand new Xenoblade game, Genesis. Super hyped. People super hyped about this. Nintendo Switch Sports. Hell yeah. Let's go. All the classic resort sports. Plus, if you want to thumb, they spent a lot of time on, I think that's later in the thing. They showed that you can thumb and fly a plane and do skateboarding. There's thumb wrestling. I don't know why. RuneScape Dragon Wilds. Hello Kitty Party Land. Hello Kitty's super popular still. Apparently. Ooh, that's the egg. Look at that guy. Demo for Star Fox is out today if you want to try that out, if you have a Switch 2. There it is. Final Fantasy Resonance. A lot of Resonance coming out. So apparently this is like a remake of the mobile port or something. But this looks sick. Aesthetically, this looks awesome. Because there was like a Final Fantasy mobile like gacha game. I think this was like a remake of that on main console, which is pretty cool. Sequel to Pikuniku, Pikuniku 2. Do you like Pikuniku? This little guy, he's just bouncing around. Sure. Dragon Quest Monsters. If you like Dragon Quest, this is more Dragon Quest. Duskbloods, they showed another trailer. They didn't show a lot of new stuff for some reason, but there's a closed network test that they didn't specify when it's happening, unfortunately. Moving on. Splatoon Raiders, it's getting its own direct. You like Splatoon? I think there's like single player in this. Yeah, single player Splatoon. That could be fun. New Joy-Con colors. The new Joy-Cons don't color very well, basically. Deltarune, people are super excited about Chapter 5. This was announced. People are very excited. Metaphor Refantasio coming to Switch 2. Minecraft getting a Switch 2 edition. It's more Minecraft. Then there was like the commercial reel of like the slop games. They're not slop games, but it's just like the small announcements. DayZ, Warhammer. DayZ's crazy. Then the Kingdom Hearts trilogy coming to Switch 2. There's a little bit of sus on the box art for this. Possible AI. We cannot confirm yet. And then they just limp dick announced Kingdom Hearts 4. Kind of. I mean, they just like no build up. They're just like Kingdom Hearts 4. And a Nintendo Direct, which has been like really great for JRPG people. So it's like not a bad direct at all, but it's like a very weird direct. And then they closed with Legends of Zelda, the Ocarina remake. What did they show? Little baby Link. They showed little baby Link. He's sleeping. I really hope Luke Skywalker isn't there. Super excited. I wish they showed more. It's supposed to come later this year. Why didn't they show more? It's supposed to announce or release this year. Show something else. Right? And also, like, a lot of people expected this. It's very exciting. Super hype. To get a little bit of an idea of like what it's going to look like. That's super cool. Like, show something. Show a little bit of something. I don't know. That was it for the direct. Let's go over a couple of updates. Something super kind of like, especially to the JRPG community, something that wasn't shown in the direct and that was announced like right after, Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD remaster coming to Switch 2. This is like people's like favorite Final Fantasy next to 7. And it's coming to Switch 2 and it wasn't in the direct. Why wasn't this in the direct? This is crazy news. Look, it's a remaster of 10. It looks great. Insane that they didn't put this in the direct. Nintendo's so fucking weird. All right, and last up, they also announced who was making the Star Fox game, and that's Velen Studios. This is Andy Robinson VGC. Oh, I forgot to link this one. This was Chris Scully VGC. And if you remember, Velen Studios, the same developer that made Knockout City, the dodgeball game that died. Well, not died. You can technically still play it, but they didn't update it anymore. So that's pretty cool. Local studio made this Star Fox game. Hell yeah. Bring back Knockout City. All right. And that's basically it for news gamers. Yeah, that's it. We did it. We got through it all. A lot of cool announcements. We're still following a lot of the stories. We're in a little bit of a lull for the remainder of this month. It's just Star Fox coming out this month. No really big events. So it's just going to be regular news for a while here on out. But thank you again, as always, everyone that came out and hung out for news live, everyone that watches the VOD later on. You guys are great. Check out the links in the chat. YouTube, Twitter, Discord, TikTok. Discord, TikTok. Yeah, that's it for me. I'll see you guys next week for more news.